just fucking. They were more so just jerking off about cool cars. And if there's one thing I just don't give a shit about, it's cool cars.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't like the racing parts. I don't like the action and racing parts of Fast and Furious. I just like when they do cuts to like exotic cars, and I'm like, oh, those are nice.
We ready? We good to go?
Are we?
Yeah. I guess I have to turn my air conditioner off.
Brandon allowing the cast to continue?
He is.
All right. Alrighty. If we're good to go, we will count down 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to episode 197 of the KBMOD podcast. It is July 5th, 2015. And yeah, I'm finally back after about a 3-week hiatus. I got lost in the desert and there was some peyote and I don't really want to go into it, but I'm back, so it's good to be back.
What's your spirit totem animal?
So my spirit totem, it was weird. What my spirit totem ended up turning out to be was a toad. And I was told that was a reflection of my own inner soul.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense.
It was disappointing, really. I was like, really? That's what I get? I get a fucking toad. I don't get a wolf. I don't get anything cool. It was a toad. It really didn't do anything. It just basically sat there. I got to ask it 2 questions. The first one was what was the meaning of life? It didn't say anything. And then the second question was, when will I die? And it said, very young of heart disease because you're fat as fuck. And then it jumped away, which is really fucking rude. But
it's really on the nose.
Well, you know what? Toad is.
I know.
Toad is.
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you.
All right. Toad is not what I would have assigned to you, Scott, but I totally see where the universe is coming from.
Yeah. So anyway, you can't fool the universe. I guess they know. It's a thing. But yeah, it's good to have everyone here. And also, I have to say, I was recently, a couple weeks ago, I was shown that I've been slowly having to change of heart about our podcast. You know, our listeners who listen offline, you guys that download it, and I realized that there is a large amount of you that can't make it out, on these Sunday nights, and I wanted to just offer an official apology. I've really not really valued you. You guys are the real MVPs, and this is not at all coerced by KBMOD making me say this officially. It is, but I would like to thank all of you for all of your support. Okay.
What really happened is I showed APL the download stats for the podcast.
And I was like, what the Yeah.
It's like,
we showed how many actual downloads we get, and I was like, okay, all right. Way more people download this than actually watch live. So anyway, just know that if you're a podcast listener, I appreciate you truly from the bottom of my heart when I
Well, I mean, like, what do you do when you miss the cast, Scott?
I don't listen. Brandon, if you thought I was going to listen.
No. I thought I knew the answer, but I just wanted you to have to admit.
Admit
it. You don't even listen when you're not on.
You're saying, so I'm like the ultimate hypocrite, really, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's true. That's a good point. Unless like somebody like really, like I really am a huge fan of is on, like Woody or something like that, I don't listen. So, or whatever. Even who was the guy who does drama? Oh yeah, Drama Alert. Keemstar. Like if Keemstar's on, I'll listen, but most of the time I don't. But
yeah, all those times we've had Keemstar.
You are
as a
never
guest.
gonna listen then, because that's never gonna happen.
I still have my dreams. We'll see. But yeah, what's been going on this week? How's everybody been doing? Let's do the real life. I mean, it was July 4th, so I'm sure you guys maybe had barbecues, got drunk. What happened? Anything good?
Oh, we had barbecues, all right. Yeah, for
Did
sure. You? Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not going to go into any more detail.
Okay, that sounds really.
I feel like legally, it would not be advisable for me to go into any further detail.
Okay.
Not really. What the fuck do you think happened? We sat around a fire pit and cooked.
Okay, I don't know.
No, we
Who knows?
Yeah, we had a thing at
Max's
Max's
really
place.
good corn on the cob.
Oh, that was
put like Cajun
really good.
seasoning on it before it cooked.
Mm.
And I don't know why. Like I've had corn on the cob plenty of times, but yesterday, just like cooked corn on the cob with Cajun seasoning.
You're
absolutely
supposed to put
hit
the
spot.
Cajun seasoning in the water while you boil it.
Really?
No, we put it in, and then we put Cajun seasoning on them, and then wrapped them in tinfoil while they cooked.
Yeah, that's delicious.
It was hella fucking good. It was really good. I don't remember what else was even there. It was like, I mean, right at the end of the night, they busted out some filet mignon, just threw that on there, cut it up into kind of bite-sized chunks, walked around with a plate. It was great.
Very cool. What kind of meats did you have? Like just like you actually had
burgers, dogs, steaks. Okay. Fucking. Somebody brought lamb. Apparently it was really good.
Someone's awesome.
Yeah, holy shit, lamb.
Yeah, I didn't get any, but it was apparently, from what I've heard, quite good.
Okay, well, that's good. And clearly no one got scarred by a firework or anything like that. You guys do that? First of all, I'm going to go on a rant. I probably ranted this the last 4th of July, but there's 2 things in this
I'm
world.
sorry, did you just go from a transition back into your own rant?
Yeah, I did. That was weird.
All right, did anybody else? Oh, by the way, I'm going to go on a rant here real quick.
By the way, I just been meaning to say this. No, yeah, because I didn't even get my thought out before I got triggered by myself. That's a problem. But what I was going to ask is, did you guys have watch fireworks or do the steel wool shit or whatever, like with your little sparklers?
No.
Wait, steel wool? What is?
Oh, see
steel
that.
wool?
So when I lived in the third world country, no one had fireworks because they were too poor. So what they would do is you would take steel wool, which is if hit on the ground or concrete really hard, will create sparks. And so you used to, it was the saddest thing ever. So you would get
That
it.
Seems incredibly dangerous.
It was a little dangerous, but you would basically spin it around you as fast as you could, and as it would hit the ground, it would shoot sparks up, so it would look cool.
It's not
so that was
that dangerous, but
it was okay. You would just get a little singed but that was our thing. I guess steel wool is not a thing that happens in America.
It's not fireworks by any means.
Yeah, no, it's a really poor version. But anyway, I was gonna say there's 2
It's not
things
a poor version. It's not even fireworks. Stop calling it fireworks.
Okay, it's a way to entertain yourself. But as I would say most fireworks shows are. I despise. I think fireworks are a waste of time. Also parades, both of those.
Parades are real dumb. I'm with you on that.
What is your
a really good fireworks
aversion
show
to
I could go
fireworks?
for?
Fuck people enjoying things.
No.
I don't care if people
I enjoy a good
them.
parade every now and
I
then.
just think parades are dumb. That's all I'm saying.
I just can't if someone's
Good,
just
don't go to them. Stop fucking killing my vibe.
You love parades? Get the fuck. Nick, do you really
Bitch,
love?
don't kill my parade
I'm
vibe.
just saying, I haven't been to a parade in years, but I mean, if I'm at a parade and some of these fucking sourpusses over here fucking ruining my day, I'm trying to get free candy from a fucking Vulcan who's gonna put ashes on my face and some shit.
What?
Probably there's that was a reference to something. Okay, let's just keep going.
I don't think I want to know. I think the only parade I ever really enjoy every year is the Mummers Day Parade, which is something we do in Philly. And that is something that I totally watch on TV because it's a New Year's Day thing, so it's January, and fuck that. January in Philly is just freezing and it sucks. But basically what happens is a lot of people know about the Mummers Day Parade. A bunch of these troops of old ass men just dress up in really garish costumes and do these really intricate performances, and it's actually really intense and really well put together, very colorful. But other than that, every other parade can basically suck a dick.
I have no problem with parades happening where I can watch them on TV, on a holiday or something, and just have them on in the background, and you get, more in the holiday spirit sometimes, like Thanksgiving Day Parade, Christmas Day Parade.
Yeah, true.
But that being said, I don't really understand why you would go to them or why you would participate in them. I don't really. There's very little point to most of these parades.
Children, I would say, right? Isn't it mostly parents bringing their kids to parades?
A lot of times, yeah.
Well, maybe, but I'm saying participating.
Participating.
I can't think of anything I would rather do less
than
wake up early in the morning on Christmas Day and go down and participate in a parade.
I've been to the Macy's parade in New York City, and fuck that.
Is it a nightmare?
Yeah, it's a nightmare. Of course it is. And it's dumb. You don't see half the shit.
All right.
And then is it like going on New Year's where it just takes 12 hours to do anything?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Absolutely not happening.
Here's why you're wrong. Because in We're Back, A Dinosaur Story, that movie has one of the fucking dopest parade scenes of all time. The pterodactyl flies around, they find a rich girl's house, they take her away. Oh my god.
So your logic is
that in a movie is not at all like real
Defending
life.
parades because of a parade in a movie that did not actually really happen.
But it was a dope-ass parade. There were dinosaurs.
God damn it.
there's no dinosaurs in a real parade.
You don't get real dinosaurs.
That's all I'm saying.
I have to nullify that.
So just knowing that kind of parade could theoretically happen is enough to get you on board with parades.
Yeah, you don't know. This could be this parade coming up, the next parade on your schedule. Because I have a schedule. Right? This could be the one where the dinosaurs show up. This could be the one where I get abducted by a pterodactyl and brought up to a rich girl's fucking condo. And then we take her away, and then we do some other shit that happens in the rest of the movie. I don't really remember.
We're committing a felony.
But
We're committing a felony.
God.
No, she consented, okay? It wasn't really a kidnapping.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Oh, God.
It was just...
She consented to be taken by.
Yeah, the last parade I went to willingly and enjoyed was like the Penguins parade when they won the Stanley Cup. That's it.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, when your city
Penguins?
wins the title, I can see that
Yeah,
being exciting.
that's different though.
But it usually, and those parades are always great because people flip over cars and light shit on fire. Like that's I'm fine with. I love rioting. I'm just not a big fan of parades.
Rioting is like a parade that reaches everyone. There's no,
That's right.
there's no line.
I didn't
there's
ask
no
for
routes.
this parade.
Hey, are you a store owner? You want to be in this riot parade? Now you are. We just looted your fucking shit. Everyone's
Rioting is
A riot
really
is just a parade taken to
free-form
the next
parading.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, you wanted this
It's a
couch? Our
citizens
bad.
parade.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
shit.
instead
Gonna have
of
to file
big
an insurance
fancy
claim.
floats, you have upside down cars on fire.
Like I would say, if anything, rioting really brings a community together because everyone's involved. Like everyone has to take part, whether they want to or not. So. It's
Yeah,
pretty-
you either have to be breaking shit, looting shit, or holding yourself up and praying to Jesus,
Exactly. Sounds
protecting your women folk.
Well, we've really gone off
I don't
track.
think
All right.
I can get on board with you about fireworks, though. Fireworks are pretty great.
See, no, I would
Fireworks are
say
not
like
bad.
a really good fireworks show is entertaining, but I feel like a lot of times, for me at least, maybe I just have been to bad fireworks shows. Like they're just very underwhelming. But
Yeah,
maybe
Usually,
think,
I mean-
like, fireworks shows seem like kind of an art because you can definitely have a
Well-
boring fireworks show.
Absolutely.
You moved to the
But I
wrong
mean, like,
town,
I would
Scott.
rather go to a boring fireworks show than no fireworks show at all.
okay, that's fair. See, I would say I would rather not go. I would just not go.
See,
Pittsburgh.
here-
Pittsburgh is obsessed with fireworks shows.
Yeah, their shows are very, very good.
Yeah.
All right, in the right setting, a fireworks show is pretty awesome. I think it's a good way to spend some time, like with the family, or maybe like you know, like a girl that you're just meeting, and you go, hey, fireworks. But like, obviously, that can't be all you're going to. You be like, hey, baby, you gonna watch some fireworks, and it's over in 30 seconds, and she's like, there's no.
Also a metaphor
I'm
for
just
something
preparing
else.
you for later tonight.
This is all an
Which is
intricate
also gonna be
metaphor
done.
about my sexual performance, which I now
Yep.
need to discuss with you before this relationship
That's a
moves.
great segue, though, Blah. That's like a fantastic segue. You should use that.
Is it now?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not saying for you personally. I'm saying in general for people. This is a good idea.
But generally speaking, when I do see a fireworks show, even like a really good fireworks show, which can be pretty entertaining, it's still like I rather would have just been playing video games. Pretty much like
Yeah.
10 times out
Well,
of 10.
okay, but that's a very high bar. Like, there are a lot of things I do where I think I would rather be playing video games.
I mean, yeah, but even with the enjoyment of like having friends or family nearby, I still think that like sitting alone in my house playing video games merits
Yeah.
results in more enjoyment. That maybe that's just me. Like I've never even good ones, and I can appreciate good ones. I just don't think are that fun. You just sit around, you watch shit explode, which is cool, like until you're 5, and then after that, like after beyond that age, just kind of like okay, maybe they made like a cowboy out of it. I don't know. Fuck.
Maybe they made a cowboy out of it.
I like how they like someone has created a product that makes a silhouette of a cowboy
Are
explode.
you watching
in midair,
Gandalf do a
and you
fucking
aren't
fireworks
impressed by
display?
that.
Now, see, now you're actually impressing me. 'Cause if I
I
could
am
see
very
that, I
much-
would go. I would
I'm
go.
very much impressed by, I'm sure, the amount of work that went into creating that. What I'm not impressed by is the result. I'm sorry, the result's just not that cool because we have things like LED billboards now. It doesn't matter that you can make a cowboy explode in midair. It's like if somebody like just fucking projectile vomited onto me from like 500 feet away, of course I would be amazed, but I still like. I'm still not
Wow.
gonna be like,
I don't know if I'm
wow,
okay
that
with
was a
comparing-
great use of that talent was a great use of your time. I'm not
I don't
gonna
know if I
appreciate that.
I don't know if I can compare fireworks to being projectile vomit.
Obviously, it's not
But-
that bad, but I
I
am
know.
pretty impressed. I
Yeah.
mean, I would be impressed, yes, but the result is just not something I necessarily want.
Also, if you enjoy fireworks, I'm saying this is just for me. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying personally for me. You can enjoy all the fireworks you want. I won't shit on your parade. This is a personal opinion. Okay. Anyway, well, we really went off the rails there. But anything else on fireworks before we?
No.
Okay.
I got
no more.
nothing.
What have we been playing this week? Let's start with you, Daniel.
I actually played a good variety of stuff this week. I played Distance, which is still in early access, but is a very cool racing game crossed with like Bit Trip Runner type
Okay.
thing.
That game.
So you are in, it's not 2D like Bit Trip Runner, but you are navigating a track that has an end. You're not racing against anything. It's just about getting to the end as quickly as possible. But it's like 360 degree, like You can jump your car. You can anti-grav and go like against the walls on the side of the track, and like it throws all this stuff in as you go on. Also, the soundtrack is godlike for Distance. So good. I'm actually gonna check right now if it's available on Steam, but if it is, you should get the edition that includes the soundtrack if you do get that game, because it is super good. I got it on the Steam sale and then tried it out.
How much is it? How much is it normal?
$20
20
normally. If you're into Bittrip games, you will love it. Also, it looks fantastic. It's like a Tron type look. But your car can fly at times as well. It is very, very fun, and very hard. It's very hard very quickly. There is a multiplayer mode, I believe. Distance is pretty damn good though. So I would say definitely check it out. I don't know that it would be worth $20 to everybody, just like I don't think BitTrip would be. BitTrip is a very good game, but if that's not, if you're not into a runner game, then like there's not much point to getting it for you. But I got it for like $6 on the Steam sale, so I only played about 30 minutes of it, but I'll definitely go back to it. It's if for nothing else but to hear the music. It's so good. It's so good. I also did play Please Don't Touch Anything, which you should all get this game. It is very cheap as well. I got it on the Steam sale for like $1, but it's let me see if I can. It's $5. So I talked about it a little bit last week. So you sit down at a desk. A dude is like, "Hey, I got to go to the bathroom. Can you sit down at this control console for me while I go to the bathroom?" And that's it. That's the whole game. There's a big red button on the control panel at the start and a lever. And that's it. And there's some instructions on the wall. And then there's like 26 different endings in the game. Okay. Depending on what you do. And depending on what you do in order. I only got like 7 different endings. But it's pretty awesome. I don't want to spoil any of the endings, although the video for the game shows a couple. Basically, like you can accidentally nuke the world. But there's a ton of it. It's very cool. Again, another one I'd probably wait for a Steam sale, even though it's only $5. But you may only end up playing it once. So, but it's a lot like Papers, Please. There's a lot more depth to it than I thought originally. The clues and stuff are kind of obtuse sometimes and hard to understand what's going on. So, yeah, definitely check out Please Don't Touch Anything. One of the endings is, I'll spoil this one, just don't do anything. And after like 2 minutes, the dude comes back and he's like, "Thanks, man." And like that's the ending. That's one of the endings. Wow. You just don't do anything. So if you can resist the urge to not touch anything for a little bit, eventually he will just come back and save you. So played those as far as new games. Played a bunch of NHL still, and some CS. What else? Oh, Witcher 3. More Witcher 3. I'm now 25 hours in. 15% complete. So, like, I'm just grinding out side quests.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. You were saying you put how many? Yeah, that many hours.
Yeah,
it's you even did all the side stuff.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
And the side stuff just keeps giving you more quests. So, like, it's quests you can't get normally unless you go explore these areas. So you'll stumble across stuff. It's just such a well done game. Excuse me. So been playing that. I also resubbed to Final Fantasy 14 today. I was talking about it, watching Tim stream today, just talking about it with some people, and I was like, man, I'm going to give that thing a try again. So I decided to resub just to give it a go and play it, every once in a while, and to see if I want to buy Heaven's Word, which is the new expansion that just came out for it, which is $40. So, like, I kind of want to make sure that I'm enjoying the game before I spend $40 on the expansion. So, but still one of the very best looking games. I mean, just
you guys played that a shit ton. When
I have an active sub to it still.
Yeah, so do I actually. I have a free company on Leviathan that I started. And I think Arbo's the only one who's still like actively playing. But
Yeah,
I've been
asked.
looking to come back. I just haven't had time.
But yeah, I actually looked into it because I have a PlayStation 3 upstairs and a PlayStation 4 down here. I probably wouldn't get it for PS4, but I'm thinking about getting it for PS3 because you can play your character and then I could just play an MMO sitting on my couch. Because you play your same character, you just log in with your account on the PlayStation. And I've heard the controls are alright, so that was part of the motivation that I wanted to maybe buy the PlayStation version of it and see how it goes, because I think it'd be cool to play an MMO just sitting on the couch. Because that game is very grindy as well, so I'm in the 40 to 50 level range, and you basically just run fates, which are like kind of world event quest type things, and you just run them over and over.
It's dynamic questing, yeah.
Yeah. So my character was still there though. They didn't.
Dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah, dynamic in quotes. I mean, they're all preset.
They're
so
all
like,
preset.
It's something that I think Guild Wars 2 popularized. I think,
Yeah, they did it really well too.
and they did, and then Final Fantasy 14 just kind of straight lifted it when they rebooted for A Realm Reborn.
Yeah, they lifted it. It's kind of, I mean, it's just a grindy game. So there's parts of it where the game sort of lags, but I'm gonna get used to healing again, do some dungeons and stuff. I'm a white mage, level 41 now, so yeah, hoping to get back into that. And that is.
Look at you.
That is
playing
about
a little
it.
bit of it all this
Yeah, I
week.
played a little bit of everything this week. That's about it. I have Arkham Knight installed. Still haven't touched it. Waiting for it to
Any
work.
word on how long till they re-release that and fix it? Is there
Nope.
any? No.
Nope.
Just waiting.
We'll talk about it a little bit during the news. But
Okay.
But yeah, no ETA at all. So
Got it.
I'm also waiting to buy Ultra Street Fighter 4 on PS4, but they haven't patched it in a couple weeks now. For those that don't know about that, or you didn't listen to the podcast a few weeks ago, that game came out on PS4, which is where I would like to play it because the player base is going to be bigger eventually. And it was a broken mess, like Arkham Knight levels of bad port, like 6 seconds of input lag, and the sounds were all fucked up. Like everything was messed up on Ultra Street Fighter 4 on PS4. And they've put out a couple patches. I guess the input lag is fixed, but everything else is still kind of broken. So, like Guile Sonic booms were invisible and shit. Like it was just a complete mess. So, but they haven't patched in a couple weeks. So it actually caused probably more money loss in the long run than the Arkham Knight one will, because tournaments were supposed to be using the PS4 version. Like major Capcom Pro Tour events were supposed to be using this version of the game, and then it was so bad that they couldn't. So they had all these PS4s and things ready to go, and they can't use them. So they'll use them for Street Fighter 5, so they're not going to go to waste, but just kind of ridiculous. If you have to, Evo was planning to be on PS4, and now is, having to get all 360s again.
Damn.
So kind of crazy.
All right.
But that's about it for me.
Esports.
All right. All right.
Esports boys.
Brandon, what about you?
Let's see. I played some Dirty Bomb. Still enjoying that a bit in groups. I opened Super Bowl again this week.
You opened it. Okay.
This has been a challenge, Scott. You weren't here, but
Okay.
Brandon's trying to
What's up?
see if people are.
Gonna play it?
I opened Super Bowl. It still crashes when you go to the options menu. Like it actually, you get like a Windows runtime error and the game closes.
Damn.
And no, there was no one playing. So that's sad. We played some Killing Floor 2, I think last night.
Yeah, I was gonna let you mention that. Yeah, Friday night.
Yeah. So Killing Floor 2, just a remarkable game. So we played a bit of that the other night with Dan and Tim and a couple other guys.
Brandon's a goddamn professional, by the way, in Killing Floor 2. Showed us so many good spots to go to.
Is he?
To hold out and stuff. And then we had a real good run going on hard. We had a real good run going, and my internet disconnected.
Yeah.
And they got
Yeah, that was
demolished.
brutal. Yeah, the wave had just spawned, and so we got a 5-person wave, and then
Yeah.
we
and I
only had
was
4
I
people.
was a 12 guy, so I
Yeah,
was there.
it
to
was it was wave 7, I think.
yeah, Yeah.
So that was rough, but I'm really enjoying that game now that I know it's sort of in a state of permanence with regard to your unlocks and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy it a lot, so I'm down to play Killing Floor 2 just about any time. Let's see, played some Hearthstone as usual. I mean, I play that all the time, but the Tavern Brawl this week was pretty cool. I don't know that we really talked about the Tavern Brawl on the podcast much, but
not a whole lot.
Actually pretty fun.
yeah, so the Tavern Brawl is like a new mode that Hearthstone has where it's a different, like kind of like a zany, that's a weird word to use, but it's like a zany like mode where you play someone and it's almost like the class challenges in the expansions where it's like a set deck. So this week, like you can play any class, but the decks are almost entirely web spinners. So it's kind of stupid and not really like it's not really very skill based, but it's super fun to just mess around. So I've played that a fair bit, and I really enjoyed that. And last night I couldn't find anything I wanted to play, which is a ridiculous thing to say because I have a huge Steam library, and I have many games that could fill my time. But
Brandon, we both agree. It's too much choice in this country. We have too much.
There is.
It really is.
There is. But I decided to play Tribes, and one, I found like the only populated server, actually a populated server that had a normal map rotation, like actually really like decent players and stuff. First map, a guy noticed me. And I was like, I'll never graduate from this. Like, that was my peak. I have nowhere to go but down now. So I played a bit of Tribes Ascend last night. It makes me really sad because I actually had a ton of fun. And, like, I kind of want to play more of it. But I know it's a dead game.
R.I.P.
You're right.
So.
Would you say you had some closure, or did it just open the wound again?
No, I think it opened it right back up. Just seeing no servers and knowing that this game with all this potential is just sitting there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I could potentially right now, if I could change like the community sentiment, and I had, let's say I had like a huge fan base, I was a really popular streamer or whatever, I could potentially turn the tides of this game and turn Tribes Ascend into the powerhouse it deserves to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have that power.
Why don't you quit your job and make this your dream, Brandon? What you're telling me is your heart is with Tribes and getting this community back together. I think
don't let your dreams just be dreams.
That's right. Do it for real.
Just do it.
I believe in you, Brandon.
You know what? I'm gonna have to think about this.
Just think about it. That's all. I think you are the hero that you're not the hero Tribes needs. You're the hero Tribes deserves. So, or I don't know. I think I said that backwards.
Was that it for you, Brandon?
That is regretfully it.
Wow, that was such a sad. I don't like hearing Brandon
man.
down.
Damn,
I don't like
son.
hearing Daddy Brandon down. God.
I was
Tribes
gonna-
is a weak point.
It
Yeah.
is.
Can't handle it.
It hit some deep.
It's rough. I understand.
I was just gonna add a couple things that I forgot. That new manor level is fucking crazy in Killing Floor 2. If you haven't played, also it looks fucking excellent.
Did they unlock more
it's
classes
really
and everything?
It is really difficult.
They are soon. I think that
Okay.
the update is coming with the fire bug and
Yes.
demolitions really soon.
I want
Okay.
a firebug.
And I think a new map or two. So they have
Two
a
new
big
maps,
update
I
around the
believe.
corner.
Yeah.
But that manor map is only I don't know, a few weeks old. But
Yeah.
I think it's one of the harder maps actually. It's really fun, but it's pretty difficult.
Yeah, you didn't. I mean, probably because it's only been out, but you didn't. None of us knew a good spot. Like we just went to like a sort of wide open courtyard and hoped for the best.
Yeah.
But also played Battlefield 4 again, which is a living game and amazingly,
Extremely live, actually.
and still pretty fucking good and really fun. But I did notice one thing that was quirky. When you open it, obviously it opens battle log. We've gone on at length about how that's just a dumb thing in general. So I hope EA is aware of this. I mean, I'm sure they are.
Are we still are people mad about battle logs still? Because I thought
No.
I thought it was
people just
fine.
accepted
it's
it
fine.
because it
It's
became
fine.
decent.
I
or
actually
whatever.
like doing my classes in battle log better than I do doing them in game.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was gonna say is the plugin for battle log is going to break whenever Chrome hits version 45. Like, Chrome warns you that this is going to happen.
Says that.
Chrome warns you, not EA. Chrome warns you. So I hope EA is aware, because Hardline uses it, BF4 uses it, and Battlefront will use it, I believe. So they better, like, you know, do something. That's only a couple Chrome releases away before your entire game system breaks. So, I mean, I would hope.
They'll probably issue a patch for it, I imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's NP API won't be supported after Chrome version 45. But Chrome tells you that, not EA. So,
Solid.
Just kind of,
Sounds good.
That was it. Sorry.
And you're
There's
good,
like
Brandon?
there's a small piece of fantasy about like just all of EA's important games not working because of a change to Chrome.
Yeah. But as I was sitting there, I was like, I wouldn't put it past them to forget about that.
They're just like, if we pretend we never saw it, then it won't, it won't happen to us. Just let it. Oh man. All right. Fenton, what about you? What'd you play this week?
All right, hear me out. This has been a big week.
Oh God.
A big week for me. This is okay. First of all, I finished an entire game.
Ooh. Okay.
In one weekend?
Okay? In a week.
Okay. What was
Granted,
it?
it's not a very long game, but I finished Halo ODST on
Okay.
Legendary. I played it all the way through, and I hit level 34, which is the max in Destiny. And I played some Smite.
Wow.
That's a hefty week for me.
It's a video
is
game
actually-
week for you.
Look at
That is a
that.
damn week.
That's pretty much it. And there's really nothing to talk about because they're all fucking games that are. I mean, it's Smite, Halo, and Destiny. So
Brandon, did you play Smite at all? Because I feel like you would hate play Smite, because it's the game that stole basically your that inner light that you used to have behind your eyes.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. It's complicated because I think Smite is a decent game.
It's
Yeah.
In its own
complicated.
But like part of me wants to hate it because of what it killed. But
Right.
the flip side of that is that it breathes life into the possibility of a Tribes Ascend successor.
See, that's true. Also, though, doesn't it just really chap your ass? Because they are making money hand over fucking fist with Smite, right? Like, it's one of the more popular. It's behind, I don't know, like League of Legends. It would be like the third, right? Or maybe after
Dota, Heroes now.
League. Oh, Heroes.
yeah,
That's
Heroes.
maybe
I
fourth.
suppose it's fourth now.
Either way, still they're making a shit ton of money. Like they couldn't put any of that money into a nice little studio. Let them work
Well,
on
I
their
mean,
game.
at the time,
Well, aren't they
that-
working on a different game? They have like a new IP or something. That's
That's true.
on.
Yeah, I think they alluded to that. Or what's his face?
I mean, at the time that they decided to kill off support for Tribes, they didn't have the resources that they do now.
yeah,
I
that's
don't
what I mean.
like. I can't fault them for the way that they what they ended up doing.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that Smite is successful, so that they can hopefully put resources into a future Tribes game. Because so many people there like Tribes. Like I really think it could be a possibility. Like sometime in the next 5 years.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I see. So you're just hoping that all this money leads to a development of a new.
Listen, being bitter about it doesn't change anything.
Yeah,
I just
you're
have
right.
to try and be a positive force for the future.
You're an inspiration, Brandon, because I think most of us just would fall away to the bitterness, but you're not doing it. Not you.
I also just logged on Tribes, and there are multiple populated servers.
Oh.
So
Oh,
There you
okay.
go.
I know what I'm doing
He's
tonight.
trying.
Nice.
Wait, you know why else it was a big week for me? Because I streamed all of my
You
playthrough.
did.
Yeah, that's true.
All of
You
it. I
did
streamed
That's a good
all of
point.
it. All 7 hours.
How many people tuned in to a Nick Fenton stream?
Between 5 and 7.
Okay, that's good.
Good. You're
Back in the
next.
saddle, boys.
You're the next APL, right?
Yeah, if I can have a $5 share of my $5 subscription.
I think
That
let's negotiate that
100%
right now.
partnership share.
if that works, if we could set one of those up. And also I'd like 50 emotes.
50 just off the bat.
All right, what you're saying sounds pretty reasonable. So.
Just go with it.
Blah
offering
just
service.
approved.
You're making sense.
offering
Paperwork's already through. All 50 emotes are going to be that Julius Caesar painting.
Like, yeah,
in
that
different-
actually
in
really
different-
premium community Twitch streamer, whatever. When do I get my racing jacket and my jacket? All the other various jackets that come with being a premium director on Twitch.television.
I want a sport jacket.
I just want a fucking hoodie. I always miss that. All right. Anyway, John, what have you been playing this week?
CS:GO the last few days. I think every time there's a major, I get back into it, and it took me like 9 fucking hours to grind to level 3.
Oh god, so you can
just,
on the mission.
Yeah, it's just so dumb that I have to do that.
I'm level
like,
6.
I feel like they should have been like new accounts have to do this.
Yeah, well, they should have looked at like hours played on your account. It's like if you have over a certain amount of hours played, you don't have to grind it because that's really stupid.
Yeah, it was not.
Wait, what do you have to grind for?
It's supposed to be another barrier
matchmaking. You have to get to level 3,
which is like that
Really?
means you have to play, and if you just play like
Casual
you don't play,
level 3.
yeah, like you have to grind it out. It's not, you don't get it super fast. Like some people are like, yeah, it's not a barrier at all, but no, it actually
Just go ham and
It
casual.
is. It takes like 6 hours for most people, but I did it all in arms race because I fucking hate playing anything else.
Yeah.
So it took quite a while because I couldn't really do any missions. Jumped right back in the saddle. I got my Eagle rank. I was LEM when I stopped, which is kind of lame. But I lost 2 games before I got my first win, so that I guess should be expected. I'd like to get my LEM back though.
Are we talking about Hearthstone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Been playing fair amount of Heroes of the Storm.
Oh, I played that too. For the
Some
first
Dota.
time.
Been playing some Dota. Still enjoy the Dota. Lots of WoW. By lots of WoW, I mean I log in for an hour and do my shitty fucking Apexis dailies. This patch is terrible. And then
Yo, I don't mean to
Like-
interrupt, but I heard the next patch is like the last one for this expansion.
the patch that just came out is the last one. for
That's
this.
real dumb.
Yeah.
This game just came out.
Yeah, not like super satisfied with the amount of content that came in this patch, and by in this expansion, and by like not too satisfied, I mean like what the fuck, dude? Seriously, I play this game for like 4 hours a week, and I've done everything.
This
That's
expansion
so
came
dumb.
out in November.
Yeah, it's
fucking-
done. They're gonna announce the next expansion at BlizzCon. Quote me.
It's
Well,
Call of Duty. It's Call of Duty WoW now.
They want to
no.
I'd be okay with a new WoW expansion every 2 years and like only having 2 major content patches inside of it. But for this one, as much as like Warlords of Draenor fucked with the lore, like I'm not like a lore guy, but I still notice what's going on in the game a little bit. And for them to do like fuck up everything that has ever existed in the game and like take you to this weird place. And now just be like, oh, by the way, we're going to go back to this normal world now after you just went through this huge battle with the Iron Horde. It's kind of like, oh, how does that even work? But yeah, I mean, I'm not super pleased with it, but what are you going to do, I suppose?
Yeah. Give Blizzard more money.
I mean, honestly, you guys said it's becoming COD with the way they're releasing it, but if they add nukes to fucking WoW, I'm all in. I'll pay for a subscription.
Oh yeah.
I don't care. That's all I need.
I'll
Just
boost you,
dangle the
dude.
nuke. Yeah, or even a Moab, because then I feel like Joel would play it too. If that was
I
the
can't
case.
imagine Joel
For
playing
my
WoW.
for my race in World of Warcraft, my race will be Sergeant Price, and my class will be Sleight of Hand Pro.
The one good thing about the state of Warlords of Draenor now is like having such a massive subscriber loss and having such like a pissed off community though really makes me think that they have to do like exactly what the players want for the next expansion if they want to like retain their top spot, particularly with Heavensward being as good as it is. Like Heavensward's being universally praised by people. You have Wildstar, while it's grindy, the endgame rating was praised and it's going free to play, so that's going to be appealing as well. So I think that we'll probably see a pretty solid next expansion. I think people just don't know what they want. Like, everybody wants to go back to Burning Crusade, and what they don't understand is that they do not want to get exalted with 117 reps to raid.
Yeah, you really
They
don't want that
want
back.
to do that. They just think they do. So I'm going to be interested in how they kind of strike that balance between what the players think they want and what Blizzard actually knows the players want. That'll be pretty interesting to watch.
It'd be kind of interesting to see if they just do whatever the fuck they want, because then we finally get to see, not get to see, but have a potential to see the WoW killer scenario. Because everybody's been talking about the WoW killer, this fucking mysterious WoW killer for years and years and years. And maybe the WoW killer is going to be a couple of different games in the same space long after most people stopped giving a shit about MMOs.
Yeah, my thing is, like, people have invested too much time in WoW, so there is no way an MMO is going to kill WoW. Like, it's
Yeah,
just
kill
it's
is
not
a
going to
strong
happen.
word.
It's not going
the
to
WoW
happen.
killer will be death by 1,000 cuts. It will be people going to play Counter-Strike. It will be people going to play other MMOs. It'll be people like just basically losing interest in WoW because they've played it for so long that they've played themselves out of it. Like nothing. I don't think anything is going to dethrone WoW like by coming out and being amazing. WoW will just slowly decline because that's what happens to games.
Yeah. There's a lot of different ways to play WoW, and like I play it way differently than I used to. Like we used to be like hardcore. We used to want to raid. We used to want to do all this other shit. Like now I just level alts.
Some of us
like
still
I turned into fucking like fucking Andy, Dan. Like
Yep.
I just play alts all the time. Dan and I have a buddy who literally has like max level characters of each class. Like 700 of them on 43 servers, and that's all he does.
And
so
he was a good raider when
I
he
wish
raided.
you hadn't told me about him.
Yeah, because
now I'm sad.
He just loves to do it. He just loves to do it. And he used to raid with us like way back in the day when we all first started. And he was a pretty good priest, but like his real love was just rolling a new character and getting it to max level. Like,
and outside of that, I spent a good amount of time the other day playing the one true esport, which is Quake.
Nice.
Do you esport game?
I do.
Esport game.
Justin, Jay Wong was the only person to donate to that Kickstarter. He donated $20 just to get the ludicrous updates.
God damn it.
I think the WoW killer is Halo 5 Guardians.
Is it? Is that it?
I think so. They have a 12v12 mode now, and that's pretty massive.
That's
And
pretty
online.
massive. All right.
All right, and then Blah. What about you?
New TF2 updates actually out, boys.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I
so
played a fuck
Counter-Strike
ton
now,
of that.
right?
I played a fuck ton of that.
Yeah, so that was finally. Now I've been saying this for years that TF2 needs something because TF2 has been fucking boring for a while. Like it's such a good game, it's so masterfully crafted, like from the ground up. But just the way it's kind of shot over the years is just kind of curved off the path of entertaining. I don't know why, but like it just seemed like TF2 was Valve's dumping ground for ideas, where they tested things out in their beta form in TF2, and then other games got the better version of those practices, which ended up being CS:GO and Dota 2. Meanwhile, TF2 is left with the unrefined, kind of shitty beta, prototype versions of all these ideas. So they finally come out with this update that kind of like CS:GO-ified the item system a little bit. You have like a buy-in sort of campaign, just like in all the CS:GO campaigns, and it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun so far. They made a lot of much needed balance changes. I don't know how much they're gonna like affect the game overall. Spy's got like massively buffed, which is like a big thing for me. Everybody remembers my big TF2 days. It was always Spy main. So Spy got really buffed. And then almost every class was touched at least a little bit. At least like one of their loadout items was changed or something. And from what I can tell so far, it's pretty fun. They have new game modes, interesting, and the contracts are pretty fun to complete. They're not.
You're missing the biggest part of this update.
Go
The
ahead.
competitive matchmaking HUD elements are in the source code now.
Oh, I didn't
somebody
know.
actually hacked them into his modified HUD, so they would display like in the game. And the competitive matchmaking mode has 6v6 and Highlander both available, which is fucking awesome. That's the best part of the update to me.
Now, funny, because I was actually going to start talking about that, was this honestly feels like them prepping TF2 for a competitive matchmaking, which is what TF2 needs.
Yeah.
TF2 is this really interesting beast. Competitively, it works, but there's never really been much of a community behind it because it's not easy for other players to jump in and play like the pros are playing. If you're playing competitive matchmaking in CS:GO, you're playing with isn't it like the same exact rule set as all the pros? It's like
pretty much.
Except for the dumbass bomb timers.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. It's like very minor tweaks.
Yeah.
You're essentially playing the same game.
It's essentially the same, yeah.
In TF2, it is very difficult. There are a lot of hurdles for the average player to actually get into competitive, let alone skill, but also just logistically doing it. So the fact that this might be something that's around the corner for TF2 could be really good. And honestly, if competitive TF2 playlists come out, I might see what teams are not like established teams. I might see if like any friends are making some teams.
You do well in Highlanders, despite.
In Highlander, yeah, probably. And you know what? Since I've been playing a lot more CS:GO, my shot is like fucking great. My ambassador, I've been headshotting so many people just like ridiculously well. I am a god, basically.
You want an MG?
I've been landing stair stabs and shit because like one of the things that's great is like if you've always been hesitant to get into TF2 or like it's been different it been difficult rather for you to get in because the skill difference between you and all the established players has been like ridiculous. Get in right now because the update has brought in a lot of like rusty ass players who haven't played in a long time. So I am like cleaning up in pubs right now, just absolutely cleaning up. And I haven't played this game in like 7 months. So
nice. All the pubs you're playing with the new maps and shit are the Valve servers though. So it's really hard to tell what's going on. But
definitely,
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
The way things are moving, I think if competitive becomes an established thing in TF2, you're going to be playing on all Valve servers anyway. I mean, it's not going to be the same skill level, obviously. Like all the good players are going to play competitive, but I mean, it's I wouldn't sweat too much about like trying to find your own individual server in TF2 anymore. Just fucking jump in and play because that's eventually what it's going to be like. So anyway, it's been that I've been playing some CS:GO. I'm still like solo queuing competitive. I don't know why I'm doing that. Just hop on Mumble and see if people are playing and want to carry me. But,
yeah, you should probably wait till you're comfortable before your friends hate you, though. And if you're too good, you'll hate your friends. So it's kind of like
that is a hard thing. I'm Gold Nova Master, I think is the rank is called the like 4-star. It's like right before single AK.
Yeah, it's about average. It's a lot better than you were months ago. That's for fucking sure.
Yeah, I'm actually doing okay at the game. I instantly assume that I shouldn't be that high because I don't know callouts. I don't know like typical strategies. Somebody's just like, oh, we should do like a fucking like rotate B. I don't know what the fuck that means. Like, I know what rotating means, but if we haven't even started pushing a point yet, and then you say we should do A rotate B, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But anyway, I end up carrying kind of frequently. Like it's just all about like because I play shitload of arms race, so my shot's pretty good. And other than that, at that skill level, it's less about your positioning and shit, more just about like who shoots better. So
yeah. Trying to run strats at those lower. Oh my god,
like when I start shot calling, that's the problem. I shouldn't ever be like shot calling.
Like when I do Overwatch cases, like that are of like true like silver matches, it's literally like I see shit I've never seen. Like things happen. It's like true chaos. Like there'll be like 5 CTs in one bomb site, like flashing each other, and then 5 terrorists like running to the other bomb site and not planting the bomb. It's just it's nuts.
Yeah, it's
so
bad.
I agreed at that level. I think just being able to shoot is like
so some really stupid shit does absolutely end up happening. And I don't want to play with anybody who's like super good. I would love people to like carry me.
Play with me.
Like, well, and I think like you're about the same rank.
Did you hit rank? Did you get rank? What do you rank?
I was Gold Nova Master.
Oh, I'm DMG. I don't know what the difference between those is.
I don't even know.
I mean, it would
a lot, like 5 ranks.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's a decent amount. It might be a little rough.
All right, well.
Might not let you queue yet.
Yeah. I also been playing a little bit of Bloodborne.
Nice.
Not a whole lot.
I went back as well.
Yeah, I went back. I started the New Game Plus. I've never done a New Game Plus, actually, on any Souls game. So this is new for me. And once I complete that, I'm, excuse me, probably going to play Demon Souls. Finally get that out of the way.
Good
dust
fucking luck.
off the PS3.
Ooh.
Yeah, I hear it's rough, but...
It is so hard.
Yeah.
It is hard, and I have beaten all the other Souls games, and it is so hard.
I'm okay with that. Hard. I'm okay with super hard. But, yeah, anyway, Dalesy's inviting us to matchmake after this. I cannot do that. I am far too busy for that right now. I think that's the main reason. The main reason I probably solo queue in Counter-Strike so much, which makes no sense. Like, why would you ever solo queue in a game like Counter-Strike? Like, even League of Legends, I can kind of understand why people solo queue, but in Counter-Strike, it's like, it's awful. Like, you got to be playing with your buddies. But the main reason I do is because that way I don't have to wait for other people to be up at that time. Like, I just kind of just jump in whenever I want. Don't worry about putting a team together. I'm always available. I don't know about other people.
All right.
That's about it.
And then I will go real quick. So CSGO, mostly just I got a server and I got the Pug mod on. So I've been doing just tons of like viewer and sub 10 mans, which has been a lot of fun. That Pug mod is just fucking godlike. I know who else? I know Dalesy had a server with that on, I think, and also
back in the day,
yeah, Fedsky has one with the KBMOD one that is on the server thing. So I got that installed, and that's great. So that's been a lot of fun. And then I beat Resident Evil 4 on PC this week. I was playing through that, and that was honestly, it's up there as one of my favorite games of all time. I missed like the entire Resident Evil series. I've never played a Silent Hill game. I've just watched a lot of playthroughs, like bits and pieces. But really loved Resident Evil 4, and it had only one crash. It looks amazing at 60 FPS. The game came out in 2008, obviously like updated textures and everything, the HD version. But just one of the most solidly made games that I played in a long time. Like super satisfying boss fights, and anyway, really, really enjoyed it. So I'm going to be doing.
I love that game, man.
Yeah, like so good, so
That
good. Holds
game-
up real well. Like
I wish I had finished it. Somebody donated it to me while I was still streaming actively, and I started playing it. And I think it was like during Halloween like time, so that's like why I started playing it. But it was really good. I agree everything you're saying about the PC port. It was fucking great.
it's just funny to me, like, because I'm like so late on it that like, and I'm just like exclaiming like how people are like, yeah, man, it's been out a while. I'm like, I know, but I'm experiencing it. Like, I didn't realize a lot of people consider Resident Evil 4 as like one of their. A lot of people like say it's their favorite Resident Evil. People have different opinions.
I don't disagree.
There's 5. Yeah,
Then there's
it's
5.
really solid.
I've never
then there's 6.
ever liked Resident Evil 4 or 5.
Really?
I think the combat is awful.
Which is kind of funny because the whole point of the earlier Resident Evils was awful combat. Like
Yeah.
Resident Evil 1 through 3 all had shit combat because
That's
it
what I
had like
hear.
those weird tank controls where you had to like turn left or right
Yeah.
and then
And
move
the
forward.
camera, yeah.
But like that also made the game scarier. Resident Evil 4 is when Resident Evil started becoming more of like an action franchise.
Yeah,
But
so much.
4 still had those callbacks to horror. It was still a pretty spooky game overall. It was just 5 was just like, no, we just don't want to be scary anymore.
5.
Yeah, these guys
Yeah,
these guys
five
are
doesn't even
undead, but who
try
really gives
to be
a fuck?
scary?
It's just a little gory at times. It's just like
Well, the thing is, I started using a controller on 4, and it has like it's hot swappable, so whatever you can. If you start using your mouse, it'll switch over.
Right.
But my aim, I'm just so terrible with the controller. I couldn't. So after one stream, I went to the keyboard and mouse, and it was like perfect controls, like super easy. So I don't know. Like for me with keyboard and mouse, like I played through the whole game and I didn't really have a control problem, which was cool. A few things like with randomly there was just one, like some of the QuickTime events when you try to like spam X or whatever to climb up. There was one event that was like totally broken that I had to plug a controller in to get past it. But for the most part, it was a really, like you said, Bob, this is like super good port. It's pretty nuts, and it looks amazing. And it was comparing it to other games that obviously updated textures and everything, but like for that, I would put it up against a lot of shit that even comes out now. Like it's not fantastic looking, but at 60 frames and with those textures, it's really
part
cool
of it
game.
doesn't look
it
bad.
holds up pretty well.
Holds up pretty decently, yeah. So anyway, that was me.
All right.
Trying to think. We had everybody else go, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we did. Okay.
All right. We're gonna take
Hit him
it.
with that.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Scott.
Hit him.
Finish whatever you were gonna say.
Oh no, I said hit him with the ad. Hit him with the
Yeah.
ad.
All right. We're gonna take a 2-minute commercial break here, guys. If you never want to see ads on this channel again, consider subscribing. You also get the PC Master Race emote, and of course, KBMOD, which everybody needs in their life, really. I've had several new subs tonight, so let's keep that rolling. So 2
Hit 'em
minutes,
with the
and
ad.
we'll be right back.
I mean, what is this painkiller already? Who says hit him with the ad?
Scott does, apparently.
Yeah. This is
That's-
hit him with a 3-minute though, not a 2-minute.
That's what they say on painkiller already.
Okay, well I don't listen to the podcast, but clearly I should be listening to that podcast because they
Listen to
more in
Painkiller
common with
already?
me. I don't.
Every week.
And if you are subscribed or listening to the audio version of this, some
Feel good about yourselves.
Yeah, feel good about yourselves, and also some upcoming streams this month. July 18th will be the couch stream for this month. We were gonna have a LAN that day, but it didn't end up working out because we want to test some stuff for Extra Life. But we're gonna have a couch stream instead. Also on the 13th, which is not this Monday, but a week from this Monday, Black Ops 1 again. I'm going back in community night. Should be awesome. We had a blast last time. Game still holds up. It still holds up. So 8:30 p.m. the 13th of July, Black Ops night, and then 18th couch stream. And then the 19th we will host Evo all day on the 19th. So you guys can come in and chat. We had a blast hosting ESL this weekend, so that was a good time. You avoid that cancer chat.
Oh
And
God.
get to talk about the event as well. So there you go.
I like how everyone thinks I'm drinking a 40.
It looks like a 40.
And like I don't blame
It's tea,
you.
isn't it?
Just,
Isn't it tea?
yeah,
There's also
it's
nothing
iced
wrong with
tea.
drinking a 40.
Yeah.
It's a liter of iced tea.
I would actually be super like, wow, what a hardcore badass. He's just drinking a
Just
40
sitting
of
around
Old
drinking
E
a
on the
40?
podcast.
Also, and you're not commenting on it. You're just drinking.
yeah,
it
just
with no
drinking a
comment.
40.
Just like,
That would actually be. That sounds like something I want to do at some point. Is just casually like crack open a 40 like at my desk at work, just see if anybody says anything about it. Because like just like on a Friday, everybody's kind of
Yeah.
winding down.
Yeah, I got this 40
working
of
late,
Mickey's.
working late, legitimately working, but also sipping a 40.
yeah.
Well, see, the first thing to do would be like, what smells like vomit in the office? Oh, wait, it's
Yeah.
Blah's 40 because
40.
Yeah,
all 40s
40s
smell like vomit.
They don't smell great.
No, they smell terrible. I've told that story before where I left a 40 of Hurricane open in my computer room one night when I got real hammered.
No.
And I came in the morning and was like, oh God, where did I puke? And I was trying to find where I puked. Like, because I was like, man, maybe I just got really drunk. No, it was just the 40 with no cap on all night. Just terrible.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that you were in a state where you thought drinking a 40 of Hurricane was okay.
Yeah, that was mistake number one, obviously. So, news. Time for the news. A couple of KBMOD notes. If you missed it last Monday night, we had our Build Guide show, live show with Steve, at Steve_OMG, formerly of Newegg, now of Mono Price. He was our guest on that. For the build guides, and also the June build guides are now out. You can check those out on the website over on kbmod.com. I will actually pop that in the chat real quick, so you guys should check that out. The build guide show is really good. Steve's awesome. We will probably have Steve on a regular podcast at some point as well. We also did a review of the Portal Stories Mel mod, which is like basically Portal 3. It's that big of a mod. So some of the hardest Portal puzzles out there. If you don't have Portal 2, you should get it and then get this mod. So go check out that review of Portal Stories Mel. Complete with its own voiceovers in that mod. So they did their own voice acting and everything. So very cool. On to the big stories of this week. There wasn't too many of them. Summer will be somewhat slow for these, but Scott, I'll let you start it off here. ESL, ESEA LAN finals were this weekend.
Yeah, it was great. I don't know. The surprise, obviously, of ESL
NA.
was that there was, two NA teams in the semifinal fighting each other for the, to play, ended up playing Fnatic, which was good. Cloud9 is when Cloud9 is firing on all cylinders, they are a fucking just really scary team. Mm-hmm. They really, to be honest, I keep saying that, like, it's easy to say that they should have won because of their, their leads. But also they
should have won.
They should have. They should have. But again, it comes down to Fnatic has so much experience, and definitely Cloud9 definitely choked in that sense. But I was still the fact that they were able to play Fnatic that closely gives a lot of hope for NACS, and I think even a lot of the European players were saying post in interviews this is going to give NA some respect. People are not going to roll their eyes when they're playing North America, at least Cloud9 at the very least.
Let's be clear though. Cloud9 went 3-0 against Envious.
Yep.
In group stage and then in the quarterfinals.
2-0. 3-0 total.
Yeah, they're 3-0 total against Envious.
Right.
Keed did lose to Fnatic, but the second map they took him to overtime, and they gave him a struggle. I mean, it wasn't a walkover.
Yeah. True.
Who else beat?
When did Mike Ross get there?
When did Mike Ross get there?
I didn't know he played CS:GO.
And because the first day in group stages, for those that don't know, there were 3 NA upsets. So VP won their game, and then C9 beat Envy, and then I forget what the other results were, but it was 3. NA went 3-1, 3-1 the first day. CLG beat Fnatic. Yeah,
right. That's right.
So in the group stage, and TSM lost as well to Keed, I believe. So and TSM went out in groups, the number 2 or 3 team in the league, depending on how you would, or in the world, depending on where you would rank them. So it was pretty amazing to watch. We were so hyped in the hosting it. It was so.
And it's just refreshing to have to have Cloud9 playing so well, and also Freakazoid had a great LAN. There was a lot of questions about him. He was an insane source player, but didn't have much CS:GO LAN experience, and entry fragger, hard position.
I fucking hate social media.
Well.
Reading the trash that people are spitting on Chungers is just fucking baffling to me. He fucking carried that team on his goddamn back. You have no idea how important a strat caller is in
people
Counter-Strike.
have no clue.
The dude played out of his fucking mind.
And
I'm sorry that you can read opponents, call strategies for your teammates, and still play at a professional level. Show me.
It's
Show me.
Insane. People have no
You're
idea,
idiots.
especially at a caller, at that level, how fucking how much preparation he's doing and how many things he has to keep in mind while also trying to frag. And he actually had some really, really good matches and played really well. Every single player on Cloud9, like that highlight reel when it comes out is going to be dirty because every single player had huge clutch rounds, great situations. I mean, fucking Shroud that 4K with the Scout and Deagle on fucking Dust 2, like just insane stuff. Like Shroud had a really fantastic LAN, which was awesome to see. And yeah, I mean, I think it's exciting, and I don't think it's a fluke either because they played, they beat really solid European teams like Envious. They played Fnatic so close. They really, I mean, like everybody said, they essentially kind of
could have won.
They could have won that series. I mean, they had a
15.
Was it 15-10 at one point?
15-9, yeah.
15-9. They lost a 12-7 lead on Overpass.
Yep.
So absolutely, and that's just going to come with experience. I think they're going to calm down a little bit. But yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting to be able to finally have the conversation of like, okay, NA CS:GO is like legitimate, at least with Cloud9 for now. So super good. It's just super good to see us.
People remember the end where like they choked away that game, but the fact that they were in that game and they maybe lost a little bit of composure at the very end, but like the rest of that tournament they did really, really well.
They did.
I mean,
it's promising.
They basically ran over Envy in the 2-0.
They really did.
Like it wasn't even very close. Like,
and then even in early on that Dust 2 game, the final map, even that Dust 2 map early when they were playing, they were just they were unstoppable. They were just Ska was, when Ska's operating at his full potential, it's like that team. Honestly, now that because it's always the thing we always say about NA is like on paper this team should be fucking insane. Yeah. What's exciting to see is now like it's off of the paper. They played like when they are clicking, we got to see how good they could be, and they're a fucking scary team. Like you don't see Fnatic sweat very often, but there were some camera cuts, especially when they won that first map, they did not look happy. They were kind of like, "What the fuck?"
When they
Dan,
lost
you had a good
Cobble,
tweet about it, where you were like, "They're just like
they're not even mad. They weren't even mad. Like after Cobble, they weren't even like upset. They were just kind of like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, like okay, this
nobody expected that to happen. Like Cloud9 2 weeks ago, they weren't that good.
Yeah,
like they've been doing homework, dude. They're gonna be good.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, sorry. I was gonna say the other reason I don't think this is gonna be a fluke. Who knows? It could be, but they played enough matches and they showed enough against so many good teams, and that I don't like. It's not like I don't know. I'm trying to give a good example. When Hiko was playing for what was the team with Hiko and Skadoodle and Steel? Not Complexity. When they had the run where they won a few matches. And but everyone like in those matches, it was like miracle rounds. Hiko was playing like really well. Some of those clips are pretty famous now. Like it didn't feel like everybody. It almost felt like somebody had to be doing some like miracle shit all the time for the NA teams to win. And overall, like there was a lot of really good play out of all the Cloud9 players individually. iBuyPower, by the way, I think is the
was it? Wasn't
I think he was
my bad.
No, it might have been Complexity too.
Oh, sorry, Complexity was the last NA team to win a major.
Right. And it's just like overall, it was like everybody contributed, and there were times where they just looked absolutely unstoppable against the best teams in the world. Like unstoppable.
What to go back on John's point with Sean, what all the analysts asked was like, NA teams have a chance to actually look at what opponents are doing. This was like, I don't know, they weren't really making excuses for the EU teams, but it was more just like EU teams are playing so much that there's no time to be like coming up with anti-strats and things like that. Whereas it was pretty clear that Sean Garrett, all he did was watch demos
he was
of
very
like
prepared.
These teams and prepare anti-strats for everything they were going to do. And the EU teams don't really have time to do it. This is what the analyst desk was saying. Is it basically NA, because it's a slightly less crazy schedule, they had time to sit down and do their homework and really prepare for this, and that's why all these upsets happen. So but very cool to see. Very cool to see.
Very exciting.
Anything that makes the pool deeper of competitive teams in esport is a good thing.
More parity, and we're finally in it. With Cloud9 and CLG still like CLG. I don't want to take away from CLG. Good. CLG looked really good overall as well. So I think we really do have like two really good contenders.
And LG is great. They're a 2-month-old team. Like that team is going to be very, very good.
Yeah, they'll get better as well. So it's good. It's exciting.
All right. So moving on for that, we like to talk about a lot of us watch a lot of Go, so it's good to talk about it on the cast. We are not esports podcast, but it's good to talk about. Windows 10. Microsoft does not know what the fuck they're doing. It's become very clear. And they are just... July 29th, this thing launches. That's 24 days from now. And this is important because this is a PC gaming podcast. And most of you are gaming on the PC. And actually, if you're on the Xbox One, this somewhat affects you as well. Because you're going to get Windows 10 in a version. But now Microsoft has said, well, it's not coming out on July 29th. We're going to do rolling rollouts. So you may get it on the 29th. So
well, that makes sense though. You have to remember how many devices in the world run Windows.
I know, but...
And because it's a free upgrade, I mean that's why people have seen the little Windows icon in the bottom right corner.
Yeah.
Is if you want it day one, you can reserve it basically by doing that. Mm-hmm. But if you're a gamer, I'm actually, as much as I'm looking forward to Windows 10 because I've used it on my other PC, and I think it's I think so far it's really good. I'm still going to wait because game compatibility, driver compatibility, there's all sorts of. This is basically like pre-ordering a game. Mm-hmm. It's a free game, and you think you want it, but you can't go back from it easily.
Yeah.
So you probably don't want to get this game on day one.
Yeah. And my whole thing is there's been several stories over the week. If you go to the website each day, I have a news post in the morning. I've had a bunch of Windows 10 stuff because they keep changing how they're going to roll it out. They've changed it 3 times over the last couple of weeks about how they're doing the rollout. And they're still doing this. I hate this with Windows so much. They're doing 4 editions of Windows 10. I just wish they would take a cue from Apple. I'm serious. And just do just one OS version, okay? This is what you get. Instead, we once again have Home, Pro, Enterprise, and Education, which is please.
Well, it's not. It sucks, but you have to remember that it's not as bad as it was before. It's basically
it isn't as bad as it was before.
For regular people, it's basically just Home and Pro. And they sort of have to do that because it's a free upgrade, and so it's you don't want to necessarily upgrade home people to the same as you're upgrading ultimate people because they paid a very big difference in price for Windows 7. Enterprise and Education are going to exist, and those I'm sure those exist for Apple too. It's just that most people don't use those at their home, so they don't have to worry about it.
But you just download the new Apple OS when it's available. That's what you do.
Right, but not. I don't know that it works that way for enterprise and stuff. Apple has some of this jankiness too. It's just not consumer facing because you pay for it when you buy. You have to buy your physical hardware from Apple. Yeah. So anyway, Windows 10, once it rolls out, should be way easier to understand. It's just that because they're releasing it for free as a Windows 7, Windows 8 upgrade. They probably I think they've run into a bunch of little corner cases for questions they've had to answer, and they forgot we should probably figure out which version this person upgrades to who had this version of Windows. Mm-hmm. It's probably a pretty difficult problem.
So along with this, if you missed our E3 podcast or you missed some of the news that comes out of that, there's a bunch of Xbox games that are coming that are only going to be compatible with Windows 10. Which is kind of cool in that there's more games coming to PC than there probably would have been, and that Microsoft is doing a good initiative with Windows 10 and trying to get some games on it. And they did also announce, if you live under a rock, you would know that Microsoft bought Mojang last year for $2 billion, the makers of Minecraft. There's going to be Minecraft Windows 10 edition. The weird part here is that it's just Pocket Edition of Minecraft.
Oh god!
At least to start with, which is weird.
Okay. Do they know how exclusives work? I mean, you're supposed to make ones that are things people want to play.
Yeah, but it's just
the point
weird.
Of selling your platform.
They're basically porting the mobile version to Windows 10.
Wait, it's built into Windows 10?
No, it will be free if you own.
Oh, if you own
Minecraft already.
I thought you meant it was going to be Minesweeper.
And no. Although it should be. That would be a smart thing to do.
I'm still betting that at some point Minecraft becomes a free game on Windows.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Probably.
This is only going to be $10, and I think Pocket Edition is $6 on the phone, something like that. I'm not sure. But But it is the Pocket Edition, and it will have controller support built in for the Xbox One controller. You can play with people on Xbox One. It's very... I don't understand...
Can I just shit on Notch one more time?
Yeah, go ahead.
Those really pretentious tweets he used to do when people used to email him about ad space on the Minecraft website.
Yeah.
About like, well, I'll never... And then he sold to Microsoft, just to remind everybody. Thanks. Fuck Notch. Okay.
Yeah, but look at his fucking house, dude.
No, he doesn't have a nice house. I'm not
Like,
blaming him.
you
I
would-
would have done the
yeah.
same thing. I just think it's funny that
It's a pretty nice house.
before he was just like, nah, man, I ain't doing it. Anyway.
Last piece of sort of major news, the Arkham Knight saga continues. It is still not for sale. It is still broken for the most part on PC. And now it has come to light that WB Games knew about all the issues months ago. And that the game at one point was just unplayable even on console.
Yeah.
Like, there's obviously some, I wouldn't say dubious sources for this, but I would have bet on this anyway.
Plot thickens.
Oh, you don't get it. There's no way it's that bad, and you don't know. There's no way.
And they're playing like they don't know. That's the sad part. Is like, where there's smoke, there's fire with, often with this stuff.
Link.
I don't. Yeah, it's broken for me as well
Broken
now.
too? Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't earlier tonight. There's a PC Gamer version of the same link floating around out there. Basically, Kotaku got a hold of some of the QA guys, and they were like, "Oh yeah, it's pretty cute that WB Games is selling this like they didn't know."
But we told him.
We told them.
Yeah.
They didn't listen.
And then the QA guys get a fucking trashing from the gaming community. And it's like, those guys work their fucking asses off, and they're all really good at what they do. If there's a game that is very, very broken, the publishers knew.
Yep. And they had already delayed, and the motivation has to be, we have to get it out now. But I would have taken Arkham Knight in September over what happened. Wait a couple months, and then maybe put it out. And that probably would have been a better strategy. Yeah, we complain about
I guess part of
PC versions,
because this has happened multiple times. Like, this is not the first time in the last year or a couple months that something like this has happened, where something's released so broken. But the fact that it's still happening tells me that there is not enough of a backlash, that companies look at it and they look at their bottom line and they're like, it's still worth it for us to release this broken piece of shit and then apologize than it is to wait a couple months and fix it, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, don't you have to say it at the end of the day? Or maybe it just depends.
I think it starts that way, but like the thing is, it may not burn you the first time or the second time, but it will burn you over the long term.
Long term, yeah.
Like that's the thing that I think, and I don't even know that we've really hit a point where like a lot of companies have released enough games for it to matter. But if you look at like just games like, EA, right? EA has a reputation. There, maybe not everyone is, not buying stuff like Battlefield Day One or Battlefront Day One. But if Battlefront is completely broken Day One, I guarantee you they will start losing people because they're like, okay, I bought Battlefield 4 and now I bought Battlefront. They were both broken. I'm just like, I'm tired of dealing with this in games that that shouldn't be this broken. I think that like you don't know how it'll be until a few years down the line.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think it will come back to bite these guys.
I think it also depends on the franchise, though, and how popular it is. I honestly think that WB looks at how popular the Arkham Knight series is and the Batman games and probably goes, people are going to fucking buy it anyway. I don't know. And I agree. I think it's short-sighted, and I think in the long term it will catch up.
Like the thing is, someone there clearly understands how big of an issue it was because they took it down for sale. That is like the nuclear option. Is we literally make it unavailable for sale until we fix it. So, like, someone admits their mistake internally because you don't do that if you just think, well, they'll buy it anyway because they're stupid gamers.
Yep.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, we'll have to see. Much like the Ultra Street Fighter 4 and PS4 thing, like, neither game is really getting patched that quickly. So, like, no matter how hard they're working, it's not hard enough yet. You still can't buy Arkham Knight a week or two after launch here. So, on PC, you can't buy it.
And they definitely didn't want that to happen.
No.
It's literally
that's the one saving grace, is that the fact that they took it down for sale, you know that someone important there has pulled the plug and like actually takes it seriously now.
Yeah, that's true.
It sucks that they didn't take it seriously before they decided to release the broken game, but at least they're taking it seriously now.
So, few quick news posts to follow up those bigger stories. New Hearthstone expansion will be announced in late July. Looks to be themed on the Argent tournament, which was the worst piece of content in raiding history.
Oh, that was awful.
Do not disagree.
So, I mean, I have more
I swear
hope
if this
for
is
it
like a
as
paladin
Hearth-
skin, I'm gonna riot.
I don't think it is. They sent out.
I don't think it is.
I
don't
this
think
is a
it is.
full-on expansion, but I mean, Argent tournament could be a good thing in Hearthstone. I could see that being a good thing to use in Hearthstone. It was a terrible thing to do in WoW, but it's a good thing to do in Hearthstone.
Yeah, I would definitely love like some new way to spice things up. And I don't know if the Argent tournament would just be new cards, or if it'd be like a new play style or something. But like they could definitely do some interesting stuff with kind of that piece of lore.
Yeah. So also Path of Exile, a game that none of us really play anymore, but is still a really good game, is coming out with another free expansion, adding a whole new act and some new bunch of new other content. It comes out July 10th. That's actually not that far away at all, about 5 days away.
I feel like I want to play that game. I'm going to download it right now.
Yeah, called The Awakening. Free, of course, as with everything with Path of Exile. If you like Diablo games, I call it the most hardcore option of the Diablo games.
Yeah, it definitely is that.
What it is.
Crip's still playing that, or did he?
He will when the new expansion launches.
Yeah,
for
I'm
sure.
sure a bunch of people will be back on it. Also, and this one very important to Blah, talked about it before the cast.
Oh, yeah.
Cook Serve Delicious 2, baby. It's coming.
We finally did it, Reddit.
Cook
Months
Serve
of
Delicious.
petitioning, years of angry emails.
PS4 and PC release next year for Cook Serve Delicious 2. That game is actually super fun. So if you haven't tried Cook Serve Delicious, you may want to check it out.
You need know nothing more than it describes itself as an intense, hardcore restaurant simulation.
It is.
Yes.
It's one of those plate spinning games. You have a lot of things going at once, so you have to just mash it out correctly, and it is really, really fun. Actually, the original game is kind of limited. I'm interested to see what kind of stuff they can bring to the table with a new one.
Yeah.
But the first game is it's usually like $5 and goes on sale for like $1.25 all the time. So check it out.
Yeah.
I highly endorse it. I've had a ton of fun
You
with
were
that game.
godlike at it too. Just
I
godlike
was.
Cook Serve
I'm not going to be
Delicious.
modest about that. I was fucking great at Cook Serve Delicious.
The only thing I can't get on board with is the grammar in their title. Their title is
what is
Cook
it?
Serve Delicious, ! 2, and then 2 exclamation points after that.
Oh,
What
that's
madness
great.
is this?
Wow.
All right. Speaking of Mojang, once again, they have closed down the development of Scrolls, their sort of card game type deal.
Darn.
Any proceeds from it are going to keep the servers going as long as they can. But clearly, it wasn't Minecraft 2, so shutting down development of that game. So if you're into Scrolls, get your time in until the servers go down. I think I saw Lethal Frag stream that like 4 times. That's
Can I
the last
comment
time
real
I've seen
quick on a comment on that article from Cheese101?
Go ahead,
Who
yeah.
said, in response to it dying, "Good, it's a load of fucking pants." What does that mean? Is that
It's on Eurogamer, so I don't know.
I
Maybe
know.
It's
Someone from
like-
Europe. Explain that.
It's
Is that
like-
like
well,
a load in
it's-
your pants?
It sounds like a laundry
Yeah.
allegory of some kind.
Yeah.
But, I'm trying to, because
Like-
here's the thing: is it honestly sounds like one of those things that you just censor yourself for, oh what the heck, or instead of saying a load of shit, he said. But the
Yeah.
thing is he prefaced it with the word fucking, so clearly he doesn't care about cursing. So I'm just kind of bewildered right now.
I don't know what that means. Like,
I don't
is
know
it
where
like,
he's coming from.
is like a load of doing a load of laundry of just pants in the UK really annoying? So you're
Well,
like, it's a load of fucking pants.
Well, keep in mind, pants in the UK is underwear.
Oh, got it.
So maybe it has something to do with the fact that it probably
Aren't they
smells bad. It's
called
been in your
Nikers? Are pants called
Knickers.
Nikers or
Knickers.
Knickers? Yeah.
Knickers.
Are they knickers?
Knickers.
The
Knickers
original
are-
what?
Knickers
You
are, I
remember
believe,
that shit?
boxers, and then pants is kind of a catch-all term for underpants.
Okay, so yeah, that's what people are confirming is it's underwear. So it's a load of
yeah.
fucking underwear.
Doing a load of underwear, which honestly, that's the easiest shit for me. You know how easy it is to fold underwear compared to pants or shirts?
Yeah.
It's super easy. You need to get your shit together, Europe.
All right.
All right.
Last sort of quick news story. Star Citizen has delayed their FPS module for the foreseeable future. It was being made by the dudes who made that zany Unreal Tournament type game, which I'm blanking on the name of, but I definitely have in my list of games. Oh my god, what was that thing called? Nextwiz. Nextwiz. The guys who made Nextwiz are making this thing, so I'm not actually that surprised that it got delayed. But this is the first stumbling block for Star Citizen, sort of the crowdfunding darling of the world, with 50-some million.
Yeah, that's fucking so nuts.
So, yeah, that's not a good thing to see when it's that much, essentially donated money for the game. Couple new releases this week. Couple really cool things, actually, on Tuesday. Yatagarasu Attack on Cataclysm will be available on Steam on the 7th. This is a fighting game made by some of the dudes who used to work at SNK and worked on, like, King of Fighters. Looks like a pretty solid anime fighting game. I'm definitely buying it day one. You can't buy it on Steam yet for some reason, but you can pre-order it on the Humble store, and it is $15. So I'm really hyped. I'm really hyped for that game. I'll definitely be streaming it on Tuesday. And then Rocket League also comes out.
I watched this game. It looks really good.
It looks really cool. It looks like Super Ball crossed with like Twisted Metal.
What?
Like,
okay.
You play as a car, and you knock a big soccer ball around a field and try to score goals.
It's soccer with cars. It's like, I mean, it's basically like, maybe it's like Super Ball, but it appears to be an actual, like, real game.
Okay, that looks really sick. I'm watching the gameplay right now.
We will be having a review on KBMOD.com of you for that for that game. We got a few keys to review it, so we should have that up sometime soon after launch. But yeah, Rocket League looks sick. I saw it on the Twitch E3 stream, and it looked pretty cool.
I saw Max playing it the other night with a couple people. It looks really good. Yeah. I do want to try it.
So that also comes out Tuesday. All right, we're going to take a short 1-minute commercial break here, and then we're going to go into the viewer questions. We'll be right back. If I can correct. There we go. Yeah, Rocket League looks sick, as does Yatagarasu. So
maybe that'll be our answer for Super Bowl. Nobody playing it.
Yeah.
Play that game.
When I saw no one playing Super Bowl, I was kind of surprised. Like, you would think one dude might be idling in a server, but either their server browser is broken or there's literally no one playing. It's sad.
Yeah, I'm looking at Rocket League. You can't buy Rocket League yet either. I think it's free to play though. I don't know why I think that. But
no, I don't think so.
Oh.
It's got a seamless thing.
Okay. So
I think they said they were going to be free on PS Plus.
Oh yes, it is free on PS4 in July. I know that. Yep. So it looks cool. Yeah, the cast feels like it's going quick tonight. Peace of mind, but it's actually pretty much on normal time. But we've just kept a good momentum the whole time tonight. So
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we're not short. We like our starting portion was pretty long.
Yeah. All right, viewer questions. This first one from Yoloslavia on Twitter. Some life advice needed here. What do you do when your mom finds out you bought a weed vape? We're talking about a conservative Asian mom here.
Smoke her out.
Yeah.
Smoke her out.
Oh man.
I know she can't take hits as big as me. She'll be laid on her ass.
Smoke her under the table, and
she'll be done.
She will have to admit defeat and allow you to keep it as per the rules of vaping.
That is the rules of engagement for vaping dictate that if
challenge her to a vape off.
Whoever's the last
who can blow smoke rings first.
I mean, I mean, Nick is the authority on that. I'm not.
All right. Well,
what are you saying?
I don't know. What am I saying? I don't know. I'm gonna defer to your answer. I don't know. What, Blah, did you have one?
Real talk, like, I mean, you might just have to do what you can to explain the benefits of smoking marijuana, because it legitimately can help. And here's the thing is, if I don't know where you live, Meg,
Texas,
but
I think, right? Texas.
Yeah.
is it Texas? Okay, well then,
Texas.
all right,
Good
you're
luck.
kind of fucked.
You're kind of fucked.
Because I was gonna say, like, if it was like medicinally, used in your state, then maybe.
You also, it says conservative Asian mom. I think
there's-
your path is a non-starter.
I don't
Yeah.
think there's any chance. Oh man.
Well,
I
like
wish
if it's legal, but like I mean, you really dug your grave if you're like doing something illegal and something that your Asian mom
Yeah.
The
is
best
not
part of this
all
story,
about.
you would have to go back on this VOD to before when the cast actually starts and realize that Meg's mom came in and said, "What were you buying on Mass Drop for so much?" And she just goes, "Vape." Like whispers vape. It's like you could have lied. You could have lied right there. You could have done it. You could have
That was
gotten out of
tobacco.
all this.
That's the Asian upbringing kicking in.
I
She's
know.
just
I would have lied. I'd have been like, "Oh, I bought some headphones. I'll return them. I'm
It's
sorry."
for tobacco. It's for tobacco purposes.
no, an Asian mom won't go for that. You
I guess
can't
that's true.
smoke.
You can't
I mean-
smoke, yeah. All right, next question. Now that we've doled out,
Our answer is just sorry. You're fucked.
yeah,
We literally couldn't come up with anything.
Or engage her in a vape off. Those are the two answers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Smoke
pretty
out.
reasonable advice.
All right, Connor3 on Twitter. You have to name your child one of your characters' name that you used online or in a game. Which did you choose and why?
PP
Black
Bum
Light
Bum
Attack.
Dude. PP Bum Bum Dude.
PP Bum Bum Dude.
That's
And why
definitely
would you
the choice.
not want that to be the name of your kid? People are like, what's your son? What's your son's name? PP Bum Bum Dude.
That would be. I mean,
PP Bum Bum Dude here.
if you have like the true balls to name your child that, I have to respect you. I mean,
I gotta respect that kid too.
absolutely. Yeah, to be able to go through life with that. That's
You
gonna
have
be
to
a tough
give him a
kid.
nickname. That's a really long
PP.
name.
Yeah, his nickname's PP.
Or
Like
Bum
JG
Dude. Bum
or
Dude.
RJ.
I feel like I would always want to refer to him though as his full PP Bum Bum Dude because it's fun to say. Like I don't know if I would even
Oh,
shorten
for
it.
sure.
PP Bum Bum Dude.
Oh, for sure.
I would probably go with Seaman for real. I think Seaman for real. My Worgen Warlock.
I mean, if we're not thinking about the actual impact this will have on a child's life, my full child's name, they wouldn't even take my last name. First name Cooter, middle name Thug, last name 69. 69 is what my alt on CSGO is. And
Cooter Thug 69.
I wonder if there's anybody with the first name Cooter, like, but not spelled.
Probably
I'm
not.
sure there is.
I'm looking
I can imagine like
there
a
is.
German name with like a
Yeah.
K-E-T-E-R or something.
Yeah,
The question is if the government will even let you have last name that are just numerals.
definitely will. Definitely.
By the way, I
You
typed
can
it into
spell
Google.
it out.
69, yeah.
I typed it into Google, and Cooter is a North American river turtle with a dull
Yeah.
brown shell. I didn't even know that. Okay, I just thought it was a badge. All right.
Thanks.
Well, if you think about it, another name for
Letting
a
us
vagina
know.
is a snapper. So
It's true.
Snapper.
that's a kind of turtle too. So basically, turtles are vaginas. I personally endorse fucking turtles.
Wow. Okay.
All right, that's a
took a
jump,
leap.
but
Wow. Yeah.
It is dangerous though. Some of you will not make it.
They snap too.
Listen,
That's why they're called snappers.
Oh yeah, that's true.
my first character name was Johnny Autism, and that obviously would not be good.
No, especially nowadays. That's not
Yeah.
gonna.
Oh, but you could name your kid Jot.
I could.
The symbolism would be heinous, but the actual name, not so
Yeah,
much.
it's not so bad. What's that mean? You don't want to know. All right, this next question from Fat Attack 82 via the Twitters. How do
By
you
the way,
revive
my answer for the previous question is Kegel sauce.
Kegels?
Is that like
Jesus.
Eagle sauce?
So nasty.
That's just my
Jeez.
hunter alt name.
I'm just gonna go with my current Steam name, Satan Take the Wheel.
Satan take
In
the
all
wheel.
caps.
God.
No, it's just, that's all. That's just gonna be his first name. Satan Take the Wheel, like Alan Jenkins. I'm gonna make his middle name after my dad.
There you
wow.
But his first name is gonna be Satan Take the Wheel.
I don't even think I have anything really funny for that.
Fucking Captain Necro.
Okay, don't talk about that here. I hear it all.
It still makes me laugh when I.
We don't talk about here now. We don't know, and that's not even where it started. All right. I started off as a private. I worked my way up.
That's right.
Don't fucking talk about fucking Private Necro on this fucking podcast ever again.
Private Joker.
Private Joker.
It's another.
Bat Attack 82. How do you revive a dead meme?
You don't fucking
don't
do
You
it.
don't. They're
Don't
just
do it. If it's dead, let it
they're
be
just
dead.
they're disposable. Memes
Let it
are
go.
disposable.
That's a
Let
good.
it
That's a
go.
great point.
You cannot revive a dead meme. You have to
That's what I'm
just let
saying.
it. You have to just let it. You have to bury it. You have to.
So
press
what do we
F to
call?
pay
So what do we?
respects.
Yeah, I mean, so what people are doing with like the vac and the vac meme and all that stuff. They're just that meme has been dead forever, and they're just it's
Vacation.
essentially-
Yep.
Yeah, all of that, all of the CS:GO ones, bot whatever the player's name is if they make a mistake.
No monitor.
Inception.
No monitor's
All those
classic
are-
and will never die. Actually, I want to see a
Fletcher
pro.
kick.
Yeah, I want to see Fnatic Olafmeister (parentheses no monitor).
That would actually.
I want to
be
see
hilarious.
that at a LAN.
Yeah,
I want to see that at a LAN. Somebody
that would-
needs to do it. They already put like shit talking names in there. Like
Mm-hmm.
Olafmeister was Olafmeister 4-1, which was the record of him versus Pasha in 1v1s.
Yeah.
Like that. So I was like, come on, dude, you could put no monitor in there, no sound, no computer. That was always my favorite one. It made
Put
no
music
sense.
after your name so
Yeah.
people know you're not actually listening.
Yeah. That was big in Source. I don't see it that much in Go. There's too many new players.
Yeah, see it a little bit.
Well, there used to. I think it's also because there used to be like plugins and stuff. Because I used to have one where you had like you could put the name of your song and stuff from Winamp
Yep.
into Counter Strike, so you
Yep.
could see what song was playing and stuff.
Yo, you know what CSGO needs? Sprays.
Yeah,
I
it
totally
really
agree.
doesn't. It really doesn't.
It does.
I
Oh, I
actually
fucking agree.
I forgot
seen
that
so
I got a
CS:GO
great
doesn't
picture of
have
Dan
sprays.
that needs to be on
You don't
CS:GO.
miss Goatsy on the wall, dude?
That's what I mean. I've seen Ghosty
Talking
so
about
many times.
speaking of fucking dead memes, sprays. Like that's all. That's
Yeah,
all.
Sprays
that's all
rule,
they
dude.
basically are. Yeah,
no,
people
I
just-
want my Berenstein Bears get kicked in the dick in start every round, dude. Okay?
Yeah.
I miss sprays.
There
sprays
is
back.
definitely like a feeling that you just won't get anymore from going into a CS server and killing a guy, and then you put your
it's-
spray on the
yeah.
ground.
Yeah.
That's true.
true.
Or you
just
spawn
won't
in, you spawn in, and there's a gaping vagina in spawn.
Yep.
And you're
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
fuck, man.
Or a beautiful naked woman spread legged with Dan Johnson's head on her,
Yeah. Which is also
which
a thing
I
that's happened.
absolutely have done. To be fair, the naked woman wasn't mine. I just enhanced it.
It's true. It was.
That's
a
right,
thing.
DLZ. They will bring sprays back when they monetize them because they'll be monetized.
Kids these
They're
days
doing
don't
it.
like kids these
100%.
days won't understand that feeling of you first install the game and then you realize you can upload your own spray.
That's
That's
true.
like that is
That is
that
the
is a
truth.
piece of expression you just will not get in today's games.
Art is dead.
Art is dead. All right.
Yeah.
Now, this next email I picked for a multitude of reasons. A, it's really long, and it didn't need to be at all. It could have been 2 sentences, which is why part of the reason I picked it. The other is it's a good question. I actually want to hear what you guys will say. Okay, so Icantu writes in via email, the longest question that could have been 1 sentence ever written. Here we go. As hardware becomes more affordable and 120 FPS plus slowly becomes the standard for FPS players on PC, I'd like the cast to consider this hypothetical. You are browsing the internet one day when you discover that an FPS franchise you used to play religiously is finally being revived. Let's call it Enemy Territory. I put that in there myself. The prospect of which
Play
makes
this
you
game.
extremely excited. As the months roll by and no information about the PC version of said game comes to light, your optimism slowly fades. Until a month out from the game's release, it is revealed that the PC version will be nothing more than a lazy console port with both a locked FOV of 65 and a capped frame rate of 30. Upon learning this information, you promptly send the developers a heated message filled with profanity-laced complaints. Well, this was not the way to go about this. Hey.
Yeah. Good lord.
But anyway, express your disapproval of their decision and your intention to boycott the game, even though deep down you know you are likely to purchase the game anyway for nostalgic reasons. This is now 3 paragraphs long.
Yeah.
I would like to point this out. Just when you think all hope is lost, one of the developers sends you a reply in which he expresses his frustration with the PC version and explains how both time and budget restraints have led them to this point. He then goes to offer you a compromise. With the small amount of development time that is left, he can change one aspect of the PC version. Either the FOV will be unlocked from range up to 65 up to 120, or the frame rate can be uncapped and will be stable at 120 FPS plus. With this in mind, my question to you is, which of these two things would be most important to you? You put two games, but I think you meant which option would be more important. Is a reasonable field of view worth sacrificing a high frame rate for, or is a high frame rate more valuable than a field of view? Basically, you could have said,
frame rate, right?
do you want frame rate or FOV?
Yeah.
I think it's got to be frame rate. Like, FOV is important. Like, very rarely do you have one and not the other.
Yeah.
But
the two are unrelated.
If you make me choose, it's going to be FOV, and somebody's going to mod that shit. People can only do so much to make the game run better, like unlock frame rates. Usually.
Yeah. My answer is actually FOV, because 65 is that bad. It's that bad.
Yeah, but playing like a competitive.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing if it's a single player game and you're running it at 30 FPS. That's like not a big deal. But if you're playing like a competitive, like you said, enemy territory specifically.
Yeah, the question here is frame rate or FOV, which like.
Well, yeah,
frame rate.
Yeah. I guess the question is really which option would make me more likely to play the game, because given if it's a competitive FPS, you have to have both for me to like play basically. I guess FOV, because you could like I would maybe try the game, but I can't play at 65. Like if he would have said 90, I would say FPS for sure. But 65 is like actually that bad.
Yeah,
I don't think I could play the game on 65
I might actually get
FOV.
sick on 65 playing it for an extended period of time. Which
I think it was
locked, on a PC, you kind of have to have more than that for FOV. Like, I don't know, man.
I think I would actually like for the FOV to go even further down. I want like a 45 and like
He just wants to look down at time.
and then like a 24 frames per second cap.
So
cinematic experience.
So your answer is FOV, but it's because you want it customizable to be lower.
I want both things to be lower. I think that's definitely an attainable goal. That's true. I mean, we could definitely get there.
Spoken like a dude who's played a bunch of Destiny Halos.
The Darkness 2, I'm pretty sure that shit was actually at like 55.
It might have been.
It was hard to play. I don't know how I made it all the way through.
You even reviewed that game.
No, I wouldn't call it that.
Gave it 6 Guidos out of 10 or something like that.
Yeah, something
That was your
10.
rating system.
Sounds about right.
I can't too. Friendly piece of advice, though. This is 6 fucking paragraphs. It was actually 7, and I put one together for the purposes of space.
Yeah.
This could have been.
I appreciate that he wanted to set up like a legitimate hypothetical scenario.
He's trying to get us there with.
Dear God.
My immersion.
It's getting to your emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that.
But
All right,
your question, for future reference, your question has to be really good if it's going to be that long. And I do think that was a pretty good
It was
question.
well written.
Decent question.
So you snuck in because of good writing and solid premise.
Yeah.
But we're watching you, and next time you have to be better, right? Is that what you're saying, Brandon?
That's right.
Okay.
What was the? Why didn't he just ask FOV or frame rate?
Yeah.
Not sure.
I feel like we could have avoided the whole book situation we had going on.
All right. Final question is for the San Francisco dudes, and maybe people who have visited San Francisco.
I've been there twice. I'm an authority.
The Real C Hodes on Twitter asks, question for the Cali dudes. I'm going to visit San Fran for a week, and I was wondering what are the best places to visit.
Katana Ya every day.
He's a father of 4. The question is he bringing the family or is he coming solo?
That's right. It is
4.
real sea hodes.
That's
The White House. Go see the White House.
We just said a ramen place and then just dropped this question.
I mean,
go visit a ramen place.
It depends if you've ever been before. If you've been before, then you might have seen the super touristy places. But if you haven't been before, basically just hit up all of the tourist spots. Like you have Pier 39, Alcatraz. Like go see the sea lions. There's a
the
whole
White
bunch
House, Mount Rushmore, the Grand Canyon,
the Abraham Lincoln Memorial,
the Space Needle, Caesar's
so
Palace.
Much to do in San Fran. It's insane when you actually say it like that. The Grand Canyon is nuts.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta drive like an hour out of the city, but it's there.
It's there. It's fucking insane. McDonald's, someone said in chat.
It's a little known fact, but every major landmark in the U.S. is about an hour outside.
It's
San
like entering like
Francisco.
but yeah. You go there and everything's like an hour away.
Mall of America, hour
Liberty
outside.
Bell.
If you have time, Niagara Falls, beautiful
New
this
York
time of
City.
year.
Beautiful.
New York City.
If you want to see New York City, drive to San Francisco. It's just where you gotta find.
It's about an hour outside.
It's about
the
as
city.
difficult as finding the Full House, but it's there. New York
Yeah.
City.
The Full House. I don't even know if we actually saw the Full
I don't
House.
know. It was
God.
I couldn't tell.
You can see the ones that like look like it.
Yeah, well,
We
we went to the directions, and like I guess it just looks different because we
I think
drove
it was
past it.
painted
Couldn't-
maybe or
couldn't
something.
pick it out.
Sorry.
It was definitely that style, though.
Our
Real talk,
Japantown
though,
is pretty
Alcatraz
cool.
Alcatraz is really cool. If you haven't been to Alcatraz, I would recommend getting tickets. Like it's
Get
actually
them,
really
get them now. You have to order them now.
Get them ahead of time.
From Brandon, you can actually just PayPal him directly. He's got a deal going on. But
Yeah.
they go out there.
A little fucking aluminum boat that
Yeah,
he takes. They like dock the boat on a rock on the side, and they have to climb up over some fences. Welcome to Alcatraz, boys.
the email-
Listen, it depends on how authentic you want your experience to be.
He reverse engineered the escape methods, turned them into an access.
It's gonna be 3 a.m. Everybody has to be wearing all black. We're gonna have night vision goggles. And let's get this tour on the road.
The email address is mlkbulldog@gmail.com. So just send
I
that
would
email.
pay whatever amount of money to be led on a tour by MLK Bulldog.
So anyway, our Japantown is pretty cool. There's a lot of like Japanese like arcadey kind of things up there, and some really good places to eat up there as well if you're into like Japanese food and
Oh, there's this
like
other
anime. If you like anime and shit.
really cool Japantown section. It's called Japan.
Yeah, you can also
Japan's about an hour outside.
just a short hop.
All right, dude. If you
That way.
the best place in San Francisco, Shibuya. Let's go. You know, if you want to go see some sick arcades, man.
Oh, also on Fisherman's Wharf. So you should go to Fisherman's Wharf if you haven't been there, because it's just a cool place. But there's a free like retro arcade museum kind of thing, and it's free to enter. And then like it's got a bunch of old time games that are all it's like $0.25 each. So if you bring like $10, you can sit there for hours. And they have a bunch of old time games. They have like they have like old games from like the 30s and 40s, and they also have like the Addams Family electric shock thing.
Oh yeah.
They have like all sorts of sort of like
sick.
old
Yeah.
time games
Come on,
that are really
come
fun.
on down to Fisherman's Wharf for some electroshock therapy, Adam's Family style. Let's get crazy tonight. Also, at
Actually, I
Fisherman's
haven't
You talk
been to
like
that
a
yet.
kid
That
who has
sounds
never
pretty
been to GameWorks
At
and just like
Fisherman's
spent
Wharf-
hours with that
At
stuff.
Fisherman's Wharf, there's one of those like interactive like theater things where you shoot at the screen, and Scott and I did it, and we were the only people in
Yeah,
there,
we
and I
did.
whooped his ass.
They have
I don't know if
like
it's
a
family
Ripley's
points.
Believe It or Not museum thing down there on Fisher's
Those
Wharf.
make
It's
me
actually pretty
uncomfortable.
neat.
Those all make me uncomfortable, and I don't like them. There's just a general feel to a Ripley's building that I'm not about.
You don't like the wax figurines? Oh no,
It's-
that's thinking
well,
about
just everything, just like the general feel of a Ripley's
Good-
building.
good
You know what I think about it? Who hosted Ripley's Believe It or Not? Who's that guy?
Ripley.
Dean Cain, dog.
Dean Cain. That was like the peak of his career. Really,
No,
wasn't it?
Superman was the peak of his
Oh,
career.
that's right. He was Superman. That's true. Well, at least for me, it
Lois
was
and
the
Clark.
peak of his career.
Good point from chat though, is C-Hodes. Where's the best place for hookers and blow? This is C-Hodes we're talking about here.
Charles,
Not
you have
sure.
4 children.
Well,
Relax.
depends on what kind of hookers. Probably either the Tenderloin or the Mission.
Tenderloin probably. And if you're
Definitely
looking
for
to
the
get
blow.
pooped on too, like the Tenderloin's also like a really solid place for pooping. The Tenderloin's the kind of place where like you're not actually gonna get injured there, but like that's the kind of place where you walk around a bend and like a dude just comes on you. Like it just happens.
happens.
It's really weird. It's like a weird vibe down there. I don't recommend it.
Oh! I went to the Mission pretty recently. This is not the Tenderloin, the Mission, which has it's kind of shady. And I was in there and I was kind of looking around. I wasn't really sure which way I was going from the BART station, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna walk down a block, see which number street I'm at, and then I'll be able to either continue walking that direction or pull a 360 or 180 rather. So anyway,
360.
long story short, pull a 360, keep walking.
And keep walking.
But this time slightly dizzy. It's like, why do they call it the Xbox 360? Anyway. So anyway, long story short, I saw a guy picking up like one of those movable like fences that police put up like around the outside of like the streets, you know, to like block people off. There was like a stack of those, and he was literally holding one up outside of a store. This is like a white guy, bald and covered in tattoos, just screaming the word bigots at these two black guys that looked like they owned the store that they were standing outside of, just watching him. And he's just like, "You want me to fucking beat you with this bigots?" And like slamming it into the ground, like to make this really loud noise. I was like, I feel like this is home. This is like Philly. This is like a nice little slice of Philly, but more colorful. Like actually, like actual colors, I mean, like rainbows and shit, because it's San Francisco. It's everywhere.
Oh.
We got it. You didn't have to explain
That's it. That's it for the podcast this week, except for one more segment, the iTunes review of the week. Brandon, tell us a little about iTunes before we get to this. It's a very short review this week.
Yeah, well, so, you know, iTunes, we go through this every week, and maybe sometimes we don't need to hit this point so hard. Like, I think there seems to be a general understanding that iTunes exists, especially, like, you know, iTunes Music came out. I'm sure a lot of you probably wanted to check that out, so you might already have iTunes installed just because of that. So you can just basically go to the podcast tab of iTunes, and you can type in KBMOD. You will find our podcast there. And even if you don't listen to the audio version, we want you to leave a review. Or if you do listen to it, doesn't matter. We want everyone to leave a review. We've had some great reviews. You can tell us anything you want there. The only rule is that you need to leave us 5 stars. You can say whatever you want. If you want to tell us in the content that you hate our podcast and you would have given it 1 star if it was a real rating, you can do that. That's fine. Just give us 5 stars. If you give us 5 stars, we will potentially read your review on the podcast each week. Or, well, we read 1 a week. We won't read yours each week, but you may get a chance at anyway. I think that makes sense.
All right.
So we didn't have many this week, but we do. Anytime that we do get, you know, multiple, we try and pick one that we think people might enjoy. So we've had celebrities, we've had all sorts of people. So please leave us a review. You might get on the podcast.
So, the review this week is entitled Sarcasm, and it was left by an individual named Massive Anal Sphincter, which...
Good.
That doesn't sound like his real name.
That doesn't sound like his real name, I'll be real, unless one of us named him after a game character.
That's true. He could be named after his parents' favorite game character.
Cougar Thug 69, I'm sure will leave us a review next week.
Yeah, someday.
And the review is just Enfen should quit again. That's it.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Leaves the call.
Well, there it is. I hope he's happy.
Wish granted.
God
hope he's
damn
happy.
it.
And there it is.
That's customer service right there. Very
That
rarely
is.
do you.
That is.
If you make a request
Instant.
and it's so quickly is carried out.
I think Nick missed the title, though.
Sarcasm?
Sarcasm was the title.
Was the title. Yeah, well...
He was being sarcastic.
Well, maybe it was in reference to Nick Fenton's sarcasm, which
Hey.
is
See, I
pretty
appreciate
prevalent.
I appreciate a review like that where there's sort of some lingering questions.
Yeah, I see that.
Hey guys,
Hey.
what did the man say after he dropped his racist brother off at the therapist?
What?
He's fixing a bigot.
Fucking Space Jam!
He's
By the
fixing
way-
a bigot.
Wow, it's sad
By the
that I
way,
got
who
that
put this
instantly.
picture in the document? And
Space
can we get a
Jam?
link in the chat to this?
Yeah,
Was that
what
me?
is-
Who is
what
that?
is- Who is that?
That's a barn door.
Oh. But...
We have to get a link to this.
That's incredible.
Oh my god. Anyway, that is it for the KBMOD podcast this week. Thank you for tuning in to episode 197. We will have a podcast next week, but in 2 weeks there will be no podcast because Evo, and because I say so. So episode 200 though, rapidly approaching. So we will see you guys next time. We're always live 10 p.m. Eastern here on twitch.tv/KBMOD. You can follow APL at APL Fisher on Twitter and everything else. John is at KBMOD John. Brandon is at Volition, VOL1TION. Blacklight is at Black LITE Attack on Twitter, and LIGHT on other things. Nick Fenton is at NFen, because someone gave him that Twitter handle back. Base Nora.
Yeah, Nora Fennerty. Shouts out to Nora.
Yeah. I am at Nipnos
can't make that
TV because at Nipnos will not give me his handle because he's a son of a bitch.
I wonder if Nora sniped that name after, or she'd let me have Enfren. She gave it. She was like, "I'm gonna grab Nipnops real quick."
No, it's some German kid who has it, and I've actually DM'd him. He won't give it to me. Anyway, I'm at Nipnos TV. You can follow us on the main Twitter at KBMOD Gaming. You should follow us on Twitch, of course, as I already said, twitch.tv/KBMOD, facebook.com/KBMOD. And yeah.
Oh! Before we end, I just want to let Brandon know I didn't retweet the tweet at all this week.
Oh damn!
And I saved it until this moment.
Wow!
At the
right
end.
At the end.
Awkward end.
And
so this will be Nick Fenton's last appearance.
So let's get that community ban going, guys.
Good streak right at the end there.
We could have demodded Anion, but you wouldn't put the effort forth.
Yeah.
You have a lot to learn about social media.
Can we make that a donation goal for an Extra Life? Is demodding Anion?
We should. We did that before. We almost
Did-
got
but
it.
did we not
didn't
reach
get
the
it.
goal?
We didn't get it. Yeah.
Damn.
Clearly.
Like
All
at
right,
least
guys.
for at least 6 months.
That is it. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Later, dudes.
Farewell.
Yatta.